Thank you, Marcel. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gary DeLong, current board chair of the Community Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone. I think we have close to 100 people on this virtual 2020 State of the Foundation. So thank everyone for participating. We got some great honorees this evening, well worth it. Next, I would like to acknowledge and thank our founders. The foundation continues to owe a debt of gratitude to these individuals, without whom there would not be a foundation. I'd also like to welcome the elected officials. I think we've got Mayor Garcia and Councilwoman Susie Price. Thank you both for participating. And I'd also like to acknowledge we have a number of the foundation board members that are currently with us as well. So thank all of you. I'd also like to acknowledge not only your participation today, as well as the many contributions each and every one of these board members make throughout the year. So thank you. And with that, I am going to turn it back momentarily to the president and CEO of the Long Beach Community Foundation, Marcel Epley. Go ahead, Marcel.
Okay, everybody, here we go. So we are here in 2020. So I thought it would be appropriate to acknowledge our Chair Emeritus, Jean Bigsby Smith, and our founding CEO, Jim Worsham, who in 2014 set out to have a vision that by 2020, we were going to reach some pretty aggressive but attainable goals. And they wanted to look ahead and see what the future will hold for the Community Foundation. And among them were to become self-sustaining. And that's good for any organization and vital, right, to be able to carry on business and not depend on other sources of revenue. So we wanted to make sure our fees paid for our services. And we hit that mark not in 2020, but 3 years before in 2017. So congratulations to all who were involved with that, our board, our staff, our founders, Jim and Jean, who set up a wonderful institution. And we wanted to expand our role as a leader in the community. And you might recall our 2018 Around the Table initiative that convened 5,000 people in Long Beach to talk about what they care about our city and what they can do to make it better. And that's only grown over the years. We've also made a point to provide opportunities for people to be involved. One of the things we heard around the table is people want to be involved, but they just don't know how. So in 2019 and this year, we got them involved with a number of the initiatives that you're going to hear about tonight. Of course, our vision statement still holds true. We want to be the preeminent stewards of endowments serving Long Beach in perpetuity. So here's some of the numbers from 2019, our growth. We received almost $6 million in contributions. That's money coming into the foundation, charitable dollars. And almost $5 million went out of our community foundation, mostly stayed right here in Long Beach. But as many of you know, our grants can go nationwide, specifically from our donor advised funds. We welcomed 13 new funds, and among them were some of these nonprofit funds that we they're endowments that we manage for other nonprofits. And many of them are here tonight, and we want to thank them for trusting us with their endowments as administrators of that and value our partnership very, very much. So here's our growth. We've been in business 24 years. We'll celebrate our 25th anniversary next year. And so we're on slow and steady growth and had a few good years there, as you can see. And last year, our assets were $56.3 million. And Jean and Jim remember when I called them and we hit 50. And so it's a really big deal. And it's a testament to all of the support that we have from all of you to trust us with your charitable wishes. Our strategic plan, we're right in the middle of a 3-year plan. Our first sort of pivot when we were trying to determine how our next growth phase would come in, it's really from the professional advisors that we partner with directly. So those are our trust attorneys, CPAs, and financial advisors who we all share a lot of mutual clients, and sort of a direct pipeline into helping them plan their charitable wealth is turning out to be a really good strategy for us and really ultimately best effective for the donors. We looked at our impact fund. Now this used to be called the Community Endowment Fund, and we renamed it to the Impact Fund, and we said we need to grow this and make it stronger. So let's put it in our plan. Let's grow it from 1.4 million to 2.5 million so that every year we're putting out at least $100,000 directly into Long Beach. And this fund is extremely unique because our board once a year gets together and talks about what are the most important needs in Long Beach. So it's very specific, it's very unique, it's very flexible, and they're very good. As you could see, the people who were on the screen there and our board members are really in tune and have their finger on the pulse. And so the last couple of years, we have invested in homelessness and housing and really helping groups that are working on the front lines there. And since its inception, we've distributed over $750,000 into Long Beach. It's a great option if you're thinking about your estate plan, because we don't know what the issues are in Long Beach are going to be in 10, 20, or 30 years. So if you love Long Beach and you want to support it, this is a good fund to consider, as well as for your IRA charitable rollovers. I mentioned that we're supporting homelessness. This is a short video we put together because we really wanted to show you our impact as it gets into the nonprofits that eventually lead to the people who need it. So I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, Don Rodriguez, CEO of Boys and Girls Club Long Beach. I want to thank the Long Beach Community Foundation for this impact grant. It made such a difference in the lives of the youth of Long Beach. 90% of the children that we serve are below or at the poverty level, and we were able to help with homework assistance, tutoring in this time of distance learning. It made such a difference in the lives of the children and the families that we serve. We could not thank you enough for all that you do for the community.
Hello, my name is Dolores Nason, and I'm the Executive Director at Disabled Resources Center. From all of us at the center, we send a sincere thank you for the Long Beach Community Foundation's funding from the 2020 Impact Grant Focus Homeless Youth. Your generosity helps us teach independent living skills to transitional youth for living and working in the community as confident, self-reliant, and working, contributing adults. It would take volumes to adequately express my appreciation for this funding and what a difference it can make in the lives of our young people. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Leilani Jones, the Executive Director of Precious Lamb Preschool. Thank you to the Long Beach Community Foundation for granting us the Community Impact Grant. This support has been huge for our organization as it helped us reopen our school to children experiencing homelessness, including healthy meals, safe outdoor learning activities, home support for families, groceries, activity kits, cleaning supplies, and other essentials. Thank you so much for making a difference to the at-risk children that we nurture and educate in our community.
My name is Captain Sergio Garcia with the Salvation Army in Long Beach. We are so grateful for the Community Impact Grant provided by the Long Beach Community Foundation. With this grant, we've been able to start our Red Shield Distance Learning Assistance Program to help kids from K to 12 who are struggling with online learning. Almost all the students we serve are at risk of becoming homeless or are currently struggling with homelessness. But the Salvation Army, with your help, is able to fill the gap that is brought on by poverty and by the COVID pandemic. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ann Schmidt-Lamping. I'm the Interim Director for Urban Community Outreach, or UCO as it's affectionately known. UCO has been a part of Long Beach for over 14 years. Part of our mission is to help people obtain housing or maintain housing. The Long Beach Community Foundation grant has enabled us to help several single moms with school-age children to either maintain their housing. We had one mother who was a behavioral therapist who was laid off due to the COVID-19 shutdown. She had 2 school-age children. We were able to maintain her housing for her. We had another mother who was living in her car with 2 children. We were able to give her a deposit and pay the credit check for her new apartment. So those kids all have stable housing, and that is thanks to people like the Long Beach Community Foundation and the grant that enables us to help mothers and fathers and families have stable housing so that their kids can thrive in school. So thank you. We appreciate you.
I hope that shows the impact of the Community Impact Fund. And I want to thank the Apostle Foundation. I think I saw Gary Van Arnhem join on. They made a 2-year significantly large commitment to this fund, and it allowed us to immediately give out more grants, including the ones you just saw. And also for those who donated tonight and earlier than tonight in the name of John and Tom Shadden went into this fund. So thank you for that. There's an anonymous donor who's made a $25,000 matching grant opportunity as well. So they're on this call. I hope I didn't narrow it down too much. I think there's almost 100 people, but thank you. And that's a wonderful gift, and we appreciate it. So we look forward to take advantage of that opportunity. Our next goal here was to grow the foundation. So you've seen our growth, and we thought, well, let's memorialize this and really talk about putting our sights on that. So we thought, and it is what we're doing, about $2 million per year growth is, and that will grow to help to sustain us. And then last but not least, remain focused on our core mission, which is of course to initiate positive change for Long Beach through charitable giving, stewardship, and strategic grant making. And that's that impact fund that we just talked about. Send a Kid to Camp, a program that's been around for 21 years, sending deserving youth to camp, into the mountains, fresh air, get them out of the inner city. It was worked on so hard. I really have to credit the big five, as we call them, the logos that you see down there. The camps in Long Beach tried so hard to get youth in person to camp this year. And the Press Telegram donors and the community donors who gave this year in hopes that it would happen, to the tune of $55,000. So we thank them. We're holding on to it. And as soon as we're able to, we'll send kids to camp and use that money the way that is intended. So thank you for entrusting us to do that and keeping the program alive after 21 years during a pandemic. It's a great testament to our community. So thank you. Our board had a groundbreaking at a very unique project. This is a North Long Beach art project. It's a garden. It's the Sound Garden, and it's at Houghton Park in North Long Beach. And I have to thank Jane Netherton, who was the program director of this, and through her chairmanship on our board, and then carried that on over after she termed out. But really, it's a unique musical instrument park of sorts where children can go and beat on drums, play the xylophone, talk in those tubes where you talk into one end and then you can hear in the other, and a very much welcomed upgrade alongside the community center that went in there at Houghton Park. And that, if for those of you who go way back in our history, remember the Connected Corridor grant through the Knight Foundation? Well, this is the last project of that grant, so it's officially closed out, and thank you to the Knight Foundation for giving us that opportunity. It's just gorgeous. So we're looking forward to having an official ribbon cutting when possible. The final part of my presentation, at least for this evening, is around what's been in the news and in front of all of us this year, and that's the coronavirus. And a little bit of history on that. We set up about a year and a half ago with the city, with the mayor and the city manager, and said, let's get ready that in the event that something goes wrong, there's some kind of an emergency, that people, they're gonna look to the Community Foundation to donate. So let's get ready for that. And you can see here, it was already ready. We were able to turn it on, and it funded some of the most critical needs in our community. And those are listed here. The ability to mobilize before the shutdowns and start to receive money when we didn't even advertise is incredible. Family Foundation stepped up, individuals, people gave as little as $10 and as much as $100,000 and everything in between. And the fact that we were able to turn it on quickly and mobilize and completely rearrange our operations in order to handle that, I really want to thank the staff and the board for that. That was, and it's still going, so it's not over yet. But so far we've received $1.3 million and we've distributed 1.25. Our priority has been at the foundation to receive that money and then get it out as soon as possible. And no more checks. We sent it directly into the nonprofits' bank accounts so that they could help members of the community who need it most as quickly as possible. And we distributed, the numbers behind that are 111 grants in 5 months. So we were a very busy operation, and we're proud of the work that we did, and we were honored to have the opportunity to be in that position. So here's a few stories here. They're on our website at longbeachcf.org. You can go through and see all the nonprofits and the causes that it went to, and it's very heartwarming to see these nonprofits step up and really make a difference. So thank you. And I have to say thank you so much to our team here in Long Beach. Colleen Bragoloni is our vice president. Many of you know her, you talk to her regularly, you email with her. She is the administrator behind the scenes, getting everything done, setting up the funds, making sure everything gets done perfectly. She's amazing, and she's been at the foundation already for 8 years. So we are lucky to have her, and we're very proud of the work she's done. Tara Sievers and Stacy Morrison, if you like the video that you looked at and you like our website and all our social media, she's really brought us up in terms of appearance and just PR and things like that. And Tara is the most detailed person you meet in your life. So we're so grateful to have her handling all of our paperwork and all those finite details. So thank you. And lastly, this is our team in Greater Kansas City. You may not know that we have 60 staff in Greater Kansas City through a partnership with Greater Horizons, which is part of a $3 billion community foundation. And they do all of our accounting, our back office. We have a director of investment there, David Anderson. Some of you have spoken to him on Zooms and calls. And so this is a partnership that just not only strengthens us and leverages their large resources, but allows us to do the local, nimble, knowledgeable work that we do for Long Beach. So really our clients and our donors have the best of both worlds there. I am going to now turn it to Gary DeLong to introduce our Mayor Garcia. Gary?
Great, thank you. Thank you very much, Marcel. Hopefully I'm unmuted and you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, great, thank you. First of all, as we looked at your presentation, which was very thorough and all good news, always nice to see that. But as we refer back to the slide where you show the significant growth and assets of the Community Foundation, particularly after the last few years, I think that's indicative of not only is the Community Foundation staff efficient and knowledgeable, but you've been able to gain a certain level of trust in the community that's unmatched, because people don't provide money to organizations that they don't trust. So I just want to compliment you and your team for building that trust in the community. Thank you. Next, I know you said that I would introduce Mayor Garcia, but clearly he's someone that needs no introduction. So instead of an introduction, I'll take this opportunity to thank Robert for a couple of things. First of all, in regard to the Coronavirus Relief Fund, Mayor, I'll just tell you, it wouldn't have happened without your direct support. You were available on nights and weekends when we reached out to you. Sometimes, in city bureaucracies, things don't always go as smoothly as we would all like them to do. I'd like them to go, and you were always available to make sure that kept moving around so the Community Foundation staff could do the job that they are so very good at. So I want to thank you for that. And finally, thank you for participating in this year's State of the Foundation as we honor Tom and John Cham. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, no, thank you guys. It's good to see everybody. And you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Great, good. I'm actually, I was kind of scrolling through all the names and all the photos, and man, first it's really great to see everybody. I think all of you probably feel like I do, where is you just miss everyone and the opportunity to connect with everyone on a personal level. It's been so hard to do that during this COVID time, and so it's really great that the Community Foundation, Marcel, the team, Gary, with you and your leadership, just to bring everyone together to do this. Even if it's virtually, it's really nice. I was sharing with a friend, a lot of us, as I scroll into the names, like me, all of you are used to going to a lot of dinners. We go to a lot of events, a lot of those roundtable dinners, and sometimes they're a lot. And I was telling a friend what I wouldn't do right now to go to one of those big dinners where we all gather together and just walk around and hug everyone and say hi, and be able to greet each other like we did all so often at so many of those events. So it's that connection that is, I think we all miss, but it's the work that's still happening through the foundation and others that is keeping us healthy and safe. I want to just join all of you, most importantly, just to thank the Community Foundation. So COVID, this crisis has been incredibly difficult for all of us. You all know for me personally, it's been very hard from a family perspective, but it's been hard on our small businesses. It's been hard on people that are out of work. It's been hard on families that have got little ones at home. They're trying their best to adjust to this new virtual learning. It has been hard, as you all know, on so many folks that have made investments that are seeing their investments stagnated. And it's been very hard on people that now don't have a place to turn to for services. Many places have scaled back their services. And so the crisis itself is very hard. And fortunately, we're making a lot of progress in these weeks ahead. You probably have read that in Long Beach, we are making significant progress to decline transmissions in the city. Our positivity rate continues to go down. And I just want to thank all of you for your incredible work in getting that done. And I'm optimistic, honestly, about our future and being able to manage this crisis in a way that's safe and responsible for all of us, because we don't want to go back. We want to keep moving forward and get past this as soon as possible. Early on in the days of the pandemic, I was sharing with a friend, I believe it was, we all remember back in early March, we had a primary election. And I have a tradition that after every election, I take the next weekend and I go away. I almost always do that. And this, in March, you know, we had heard about COVID-19 and read about it in the paper in January, February. We're sending some emails. We're talking about it at the city. And then the election happened first Tuesday of March. That weekend, I was with friends out in the desert, and I got a call. I got a phone call. And the phone call said, hey, remember that COVID disease that everyone's talking about? People think that some folks on one of the cruise lines has it outside of Long Beach, and they want to dock in the city. Which, you know, what do you think? What should we do? And from that moment, that week, first weekend in March, till this evening that we're all gathering, it has been non-stop dealing with this crisis every single day, 24 hours a day, non-stop. And I'll never forget that call where I went, and from that call, our first press conference was the following Monday. A week later, we had our first transmission and case in the city of Long Beach. And then here we are, you know, many months later down the road, dealing with a very serious pandemic. Early on, it was the Community Foundation that stepped up and that helped us raise money, and that really, through the foundation's contacts and good work, was able to put together $1.3 million of funding for so many community organizations. I mean, we're talking dozens and dozens. Marcel, I mean, it's been over what is it, 85, almost 90 organizations.
Correct.
That benefited for this relief fund. And I remember Gary called me up, and we were talking, and we said, hey, we got to start raising some money. How are we going to do this? And we thought about best approaches, and Gary and I talked a lot on those early days about how we would set this up and how we would partner to do this. And my team worked with Marcel very closely, and very quickly we set it up, and you guys took off and you got it done. You know, we sent people your way, but really at the end of the day, it was the generosity of the folks in the city and the foundations that stepped up that made that 1.3 million possible. And then the foundation very quickly got that money out to organizations that did so much great work. We in the city, I mean, when you think about the partnership and what that COVID response looked like, it was a response happening in our hospitals. It was our city teams on the ground. It was the health department. It was our paramedic and police safety and public safety units. But it was also the generosity of the foundation that gave direct grants to our organizations that were able to do things like food distributions, ensuring that young kids had access to diapers and baby formula for low-income families that were not losing their jobs. It was making sure that organizations were able to take care of each other, that there were programs at our nonprofits that were taking care of families and women and healthcare and organizations that many of you represent. So the list goes on and on. The relief that happened early on in getting support to families was critical in really bridging us to where we are today. And so I just can't thank everybody enough for that amazing work. There's still a lot of work to do. We're not out of the woods yet. We have a long way to go to get past the crisis of the moment, but we're going to do it. And I want to just say thank you again to the entire foundation board, to Gary, to Marcel, to the staff, to all of you, to the generous donors that gave so much. Even the donors that gave $5, $10, that meant a lot as well. And lastly, I'll just say that I want everyone on this call, because there's a lot of you, and all of you I see, you're all like, you all love Long Beach. This is like the I Love Long Beach group, right? And all of us that love Long Beach, be optimistic about our future. Things are hard right now. They break our hearts. They break my heart when I see businesses close or I see schools close, when I see people suffering and people dying. But I'm optimistic that we're going to come out of this a better country and a better community. We're going to learn a lot and take care of each other. So thank you for having me to say a few words. And I just want to thank you for your generous gifts in this program. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor Garcia, for your remarks, as well as your ongoing support of the Community Foundation.
Thank you.
Next, it's my honor to introduce our 2020 honorees, Tom and John Shadden. Tom, John, and the Shadden Group were instrumental in the origins of the Long Beach Community Foundation when it was just an idea over 20 years ago. Tom Shadden was born in Los Angeles, attended Los Angeles High School, and served several years in the United States Army, including a position overseas in Heidelberg, Germany. He graduated from Cal State Long Beach with a bachelor's in business administration, and it was there that he met the love of his life, Sandy. Tom and Sandy married in 1958 and made their home in Long Beach and raised 3 children, Laura, John, and William. After graduating Cal State Long Beach, Tom started his business career with Dean Witter, which eventually became Morgan Stanley. Tom served as the senior vice president of Morgan Stanley, starting the Shadden Group, a private wealth management firm, in 1992, and earned the Investment Consulting Services Circle of Excellence Award in the year 2000. The other love of Tom's life is sailing. Tom joined the Long Beach Yacht Club in 1968, where he has served on many committees, including chairman of the 1975 Congressional Cup and Commodore in 1980. Other activities include director of the 1984 Sailing Olympics in Long Beach, and he's a founding member and past president of the Pacific Coast Sailing Foundation and the United States Sailing Center. Tom is a former Cal 25 Fleet champion. He won the prestigious Little Whitney Trophy in 1976. He was appointed to the Executive Committee of Olympic Classes Regatta Organizing Committee in 1980, and he led the marketing efforts for the 1984 Olympics in the area of yachting. It's no surprise that also near and dear to Tom's heart is the Aquatic Capital of America Foundation. It was my pleasure to represent the city of Long Beach and support Tom when he formed the foundation in 2008 with several notable friends in the industry. The foundation seeks to promote Long Beach's legacy of aquatic athletes, coaches, officials, and organizations who have become Olympians, world and national champions, and record breakers. And I'll point out, more than any other city in the United States. The motto for this organization is "Every child is a swimmer." The foundation provides outreach and funding to the Long Beach Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCA, to fund swim lessons, and it gives every Long Beach youth the opportunity to learn to swim. Tom is also an avid traveler and has covered most of the world. In 1993, the Shadden family suffered a great loss. Tom and Sandy's youngest son, William, was riding his bike home from work when he was gunned down by a local gang member. This senseless murder sparked Tom and Sandy to fund and start several foundations for victims' rights. For this reason, and many others, philanthropic passion is ingrained in Tom and has been shared by his entire family. There are many boards, committees, and associations that Tom has been involved with or founded over the decades, which appear on the slide before you. And Long Beach is greatly better because of it. Tom's been a Kiwanian for 50 years, heavily involved in Long Beach Memorial Medical Center's board, particularly with their Heart and Vascular Institute program, and recognized in the 2014 inaugural class of A Few Good Men, an honor provided by the Long Beach Ronald McDonald House. The Shaddens are deeply tied to the Long Beach community and philanthropic charities, and local committees are a large part of their lives. Tom learned early in life that true gratitude is demonstrated by giving back through volunteerism and philanthropy. Sandy Shadden passed away in 2009, and their values and legacy live on in their children and grandchildren. And one of those children is also being honored today, their son, John Shadden. Following the aquatic interest and talent of his father, John's love of sailing earned him a seat on the 1982 Los Angeles Olympic sailing team. Then, while pursuing his education at the University of Southern California, John qualified for both the 1984 and 1988 Olympics in sailing and captured a bronze medal in Korea in 1988. Adding to his bachelor's degree in business administration from USC, John graduated from the Security Industries Institute at the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. He also received a master's degree in wealth management at the Stern School of Business at NYU. As a managing director of wealth management and one of the founders of the Shadden Group at Morgan Stanley, John has drawn on over 30 years of investment consulting experience, specializing in providing tailored wealth management solutions for family offices, individuals, and charitable foundations. He has been named to the Forbes Top Advisors list, as well as Barron's America's Top 1,200 Advisors and the Financial Times Top 400 Advisors rankings over the past several years consecutively. John has served on numerous boards over the years, including as an advisory member of the Long Beach Community Foundation. John is married to Patricia, and they have 3 children, Thomas, Melissa, and William. Now, in just a few moments, you will be invited to unmute yourself and to raise your glass to toast our honorees. But before then, it's now my honor to present Tom and John Shadden with the 2020 Community Foundation Impact Award. Tom, are you ready for me to hand it to you?
I'm ready. Thank you,
You got
Gary.
this? Okay. It's headed your way. Don't drop it. You got it?
Yes, we do.
Well done. Well done. Now, I've got a second one here. Hold on just a moment. Let me grab it. Tom, this one's coming your way. Hold on. Put your hand. All right. Well done.
We got good teamwork there, Gary.
Outstanding. Great. All right. We'll turn it over to you two.
Well, it's embarrassing to me to have this false recognition, but, you know, I love this city, and I really enjoyed everything I've done to help this community, to foster it, improve throughout my life. I'm very proud of Gary and everybody else in this organization, and the mayor, of course, and all of you out there, and I really appreciate it very, very much.
Great. Thank you. Yes. As a community, we're fortunate to have an independent community foundation and such an active board led by Gary DeLong and an incredible staff. When Jean Bixby Smith asked if our family would become a funding supporter, we didn't hesitate to say yes. Under her leadership and others to follow, the foundation, as you've seen, has grown and is now an integral part of the philanthropic landscape of Long Beach. Growing up in the Shadden home, giving back was expected. My mom and dad led by example, and we followed their lead to support all organizations that could help our community and create lasting change. I'm so happy to be a part of today's event, recognizing their work and us to follow. When my father and I started the Shadden Group together, we committed to giving back to the community at the company level. The Shadden Group today is made up of 15 talented people that share the same vision and have volunteered countless hours and provided direct financial support individually and collectively to local charities. I'm so proud of that. I need to personally thank one of my partners, Mike Van Dyke, who has led our giving initiative and, in addition, managed our charitable consulting division and has done an outstanding job in our community as well. Our family is humbled by this award, especially in light of the incredible past honorees that have been honored before us. truly appreciate it and want to say thank you very much to the Community Foundation.
Thank you both. I would now like to conclude our event with a toast to Tom and John Shadden.
Should all be receiving an invitation to unmute yourselves.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and well deserved.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Well done. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Well deserved. Cheers.
Gary, I think you had a toast prepared. Did you want to read it?
Sure. Well, I might be a little late, but it's truly an honor to recognize the many contributions of Tom and John Shadden. I've known each of them in different capacities over many years, and I can't think of two more deserving individuals to receive this prestigious recognition. Here's to Tom and John.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
I want to thank and congratulate Tom and John Shadden as well. It's been my pleasure to work with Tom, in particular with Aquatic Capital of America since 2014. He's a tremendous asset to the city. Thank you so much, Tom, and John too. I just don't know you as well.
There was Susie Price. Congratulations.
Well, I would like to comment that John has helped the 49er Foundation at Cal State Long Beach that I've had the pleasure of chairing for the last 2 years. And John, you've done a great job in difficult times, but you're one of the best. And
Thank you, Jim.
Man, for so long, we're both getting really old.
Some more than others.
Back a long ways, Jim.
Thank you for coming, everybody. We really appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations, Tom and John, and thank you for allowing us to honor you this way. Thank you to our board and to Gary and to Mayor Garcia, all of our founders. You made having a virtual reception fun, and we're just so honored to work with all of you. Have a wonderful evening, and hopefully we'll all see each other real soon.
Well done, Marcel.
Thanks, Marcel.
Gary.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Go Lakers.
Hi. Hi, Jeff.
Oscars tonight, isn't it?
Thanks for coming. Bye, Walters.
Bye.
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 Great job putting this together, guys.
Thanks, Jane.
Well done.
We miss you.
See you tomorrow, Tom.
See you later. Thank you, everybody.